Klay Thompson, he set the internet on fire. He scored a career-high 60 points in the Warriors' 142-106 blowout victory over the Pacers. Thompson shot 21 for 33 from the field. He did all of this in 29 minutes of action. Trey, we got to break this down. You got a few questions for us.
Yeah, you score 60 points in 29 minutes, you're going to get people talking, and I got a few questions for you guys about Klay's big night. And since we've seen the shots and we've read the per minute, per second, and per dribble stats, guys, tell me, what was the most impressive part of Klay's career night?
It was about him holding the ball for under 90 seconds. It's like he barely had the ball in his hands. You think about it, 60 points, he basically scored a point for every 1.5 seconds he touched the ball. It doesn't logically make sense. No, they just moved the ball so well. It was the most in-flow 60-point game you will ever see in NBA history. That's the way I feel about it, because they were moving it so much. They had 25 assists at half with 2 turnovers. Again, you watch him here, he's just moving off the ball so well. He's getting out in front of the defense. He took 11 dribbles in this game. 11 dribbles and scored 60 points. It's just so vastly different than Kobe's 60 that he put up at the end of the season.
Last year,
it was just beautifully in the flow. 45 assists for this Warriors team.
But let's not forget, this wasn't just a guy riding a hot hand. He worked the screens perfectly. He timed his cuts. This was a display for anyone out there who wants to be a shooting guard for the way he played last night. He made cuts to the rim. He still scored 9 baskets in the paint. So it wasn't like he just came down. He's got that beautiful stroke. We know he got a lot of open shots, and he didn't just live on the three-point line. He made sure that he made all the defenders, whoever was on him, work all the time, and he got inside. It was just an incredible performance.
Yeah, the most impressive part to me is sort of echoing what you're saying, I think, Lee, is like if last night, let's say my internet goes down, my TV doesn't work, I go to bed after the Raptors lose to the Cavs for the 5th, 6th straight time. I call it a night, and I wake up and I come in this morning, and you guys say, did you see Klay Thompson? He had 60 points last night. And I go, whoa. The first thing I would think of, if you told me Klay had 60 and I didn't see it, I would be like, how many threes did he hit? I'd be like, 12, 13, 14, 15 threes? Like, he only hit 8. And I know it sounds funny to say only, but for a guy like Klay Thompson and these shooters on the Warriors, that's not a whole lot.
Nah.
That's not a whole lot. And so that's impressive to me. It's also impressive, like you said, Taz, just the way he got these shots where it was so quick. It all looks so casual. And then I think we'd be silly not to double down on the fact, I did say it, and I tried to say it loudly, 29 minutes. 29 minutes he got 60 points. It's crazy. Are you guys upset as basketball fans that Kerr didn't give him a chance in the 4th quarter? Because I know it was a blowout, but would you like to see if he could have gone for 75, Kobe's 81?
You would love to see it. You would love to see it, but in the spirit of the game, Steve Kerr's a bit of an old school guy as well. You don't want to humiliate your opponent when you're already crushing.
They already were
humiliating them. But there's a certain time.
There is a line. There is a line. You stop stealing bases when you're up 12 runs. You stop. You just go base to base. Stick, go. Stick, go, and that's it. I feel like, you know, there are no rules in today's NBA. We got big men shooting threes, but you know, just like. You don't need to rub the salt in the wound. I do feel bad for Klay, though. Both his career highs, you know, the one against Sacramento where he scored 37, when I hope everyone was watching that 3rd quarter when you were getting text alerts and you were logging in to see what he was doing. And this one, he didn't play the 4th quarter. And he feels bad about that. He said, it's unfortunate. 2 times I got my career high. I couldn't play in the 4th quarter.
That's what I love about this. He wants to go for 70, 75, 80. You can tell he wants to. He wanted to keep playing. But I guess they're killing him, and at some point, they said 60's enough. We're up.
That's the thing. I think once he got the 60, Steve Kerr said, right, okay, that's enough.
Oh, for sure, because he came out even before the end of the 3rd. All right, Trey, next question.
Yeah, Kobe had 81, like you guys mentioned. Klay, 37 and a quarter. And I once went 11 for 11 in the first half of an intramural game. Crazy, I know. Quick fill in the blank here. Klay's 60 was the best scoring support performance since
KYRIE IRVING had 57 against the San Antonio Spurs. It was back in 2015, in March in 2015. You might remember it. It was an overtime game.
That was a great game.
It was an incredible game.
In
San Antonio. And what I saw from that game was actually similar to what I saw from Klay last night. He went 20 for 32 from the field, KYRIE, 7 for 7 from downtown, 10 for 10 from the free throw line.
Pretty similar to Klay's numbers.
And of course, LeBron knew how hot KYRIE was. He deferred to him that night. And KYRIE had 11 in the overtime after he sent the game to overtime with that incredible three-point shot as well. So for me, you know, he obviously would have taken a lot more dribbles than Klay, but the same sort of way that he was just so hot he couldn't miss. They had to get the ball in his hands, and it worked.
It was so similar to me to Klay's 52, the way he was doing it. back then and this one, because he had Bogut back then, setting picks for him, getting open, working his butt off. Zaza Pachulia sticking out his Pachulia, a lot of illegal screens. He was doing that really well last night. It was just so efficient, like it was against the Sacramento Kings just 2 months before. You mentioned, Lee, in January 2015. And the fact was, this was special because the Kings bench was up and giving him kudos. They just couldn't believe it themselves in Golden State.
Yeah, the most similar sort of performance to me that I could think of, it's a while ago now, but remember Kobe before the 81, he went for 62 about a month prior against the Mavericks, and he did it in 3 quarters, and that's where the comparison to Klay comes into play here. He had 60, he was outscoring the Mavs. It sounds insane still, 62-61 at the end of the 3rd quarter. He didn't play the 4th, of course, but, you know, sort of what you were talking about with Kyrie's numbers in terms of shooting and where he got his shots.
Fox.
It was pretty similar, and we have a breakdown here. You know, Kobe only played a little under 33 minutes that game in 2005 versus Dallas, and you see it there. I mean, a lot more free throws, but otherwise, shot attempts in general, pretty close.
Yeah.
Just crazy to think to score 60 points and not even play the 4th quarter with some of these guys. Trey, I think we got time for one more question.
Fine.